Hello everybody, got a couple of packages here I want to talk about. First one is they're from Amazon, so the first one is this one here. I ordered, and I order these every time mine wear out, minimal shoes, and I like these because they're pretty reasonably priced. They're not the Vibrams, because those are expensive as hell. And if you're going to burn through shoes like this, doing a lot of walking or jogging, then it's not, I don't think it's a good idea to spend tons of money for rubber tires that you're going to be, pieces of rubber tire you're going to be attaching to your feet. These are what are they? Whittens, I believe. As soon as I remember, I'll go ahead and put the link in the description. We'll just take a look at them here. So I like these because they're nicely designed. Look at that. And they've got this little Velcro piece here. It wraps around like so. There's the tongue right there. And then it's got the this little piece that also velcros to it, and this little clamp thingy that ties up the shoe. So I like these. I'll show you what my worn out ones look like, and it's a good thing these came in, because the other ones, my old ones, are already getting a hole in the bottom of it. Alright, look at these. My old one here, new one. See how worn it's gotten? See that hole right there? I do a lot of walking, man. Now that I've got these, I'm going to do a lot more intermittent jogging too. And one thing you'll need to know about these kinds of shoes, the Vibrams, first of all, it would take me, like those are really comfortable, because the Vibrams, as you've probably seen, have the single digit design for each toe, in which case you'd also have to invest in the socks that, in fact, I've got one here, worn out one. So here's one of my old socks. I have little single digit toe parts right there. I like to do the no-show ankle. Then I got a pair of these to go with them. So, yeah. What you'll need to know about minimal shoes like this, though, is that you have to, if you don't already know, and I think it's common sense, doesn't have the support in it like shoes that we're all used to wearing do. It relies on your natural support, and if you haven't used these kinds of shoes before, would not suggest that you go out jogging or walking for long periods of time with these, little by little, because your ankles are gonna, your calf muscles are gonna hurt like hell. You won't be able to walk for a couple of days afterwards. So luckily, I stick to these so that I won't have that problem. All right. Now I can fly off of rooftops with these. Okay. While I'm out unleashing my brand of justice. All right, our next one here. You might notice that I have some lights under my loft bed, and half of the string went out, so I went ahead and ordered another kind of LEDs, which I'll be putting up today so we can do more videos. As I get more of them, more of these kinds of things, and start kind of sorting them out to hang off my bed or around my room. I've got some really cool ones that I want to get that are like Halloweeny and stuff, so we'll be looking at those down the line. But these are going to be the foundation lights, right? All right, USB, remote. Look at that. Look at there. Ooh, they dim. Okay. I went ahead and got the warm white lights. So I'll set those up here today so you can see them. Look at that. Got the little USB plug-in, of course. And this will be cool. All right. It's on. All right. Oh, look at all that rain and thunder. We had a tornado warning here earlier and in Texas. So it could be snowing in the morning and then blistering fire raining from the sky. But anyway, welcome to my vlog. First thing I want to say is a sad news that we lost one of my favorite comedians, Gilbert. Heard about that today, and we've already lost some of the greats: Norm Macdonald, Bob Saget. So far, starting from last year. But Gilbert Gottfried, oh my God. Really, really sad. I wonder how many condiment packets that he's taken from various restaurants when he's gone out to eat are left over. Is that going to be part of the estate now? Can't imagine who's going to have those. Be stuck with all of that afterwards. Anyway, the other thing is, as we go through the week here, I'll be doing these videos throughout the week, summing up, 2 days, 3 days straight of whatever's going on. Hence, this is why it's called a vlog, and I'm vlogging about that stuff. Certainly a diary of sorts. But the other thing is to sum up, because I don't want to take too much time here, some of the things that are going on. First of all, over the last week or so, I'm having to deal with some issues that have involved the city, for instance. Well, one issue in particular is I'll say this. I walk a lot. At one point last week, as I was coming home, somebody's dog, a pit bull, looked like a young pit bull, but came running at me from the driveway. You know, it was loose and ran me out into the middle of the street. And naturally, I'm not going to stand there and wait to see if the dog's going to attack me or not. And I don't have a problem with pit bulls at all. In fact, I love pit bulls. You guys ever watch that show, Pit Bulls and Parolees? Check it out. It's great. That woman's insane. She really, really burns herself out on doing the thing that she loves, and that's very commendable. Somebody has to do that, right? So she's taking that on. But check out that show. It's pretty awesome. I used to have a pit bull that I had to confiscate from a roommate, and maybe I'll talk about that later on sometime. This was like over 10 years ago. And initially, when I first met the pit bull, they lived next door with this guy who would eventually move in with me. And this dog was always trying to get out, and sometimes would, but you had this sense that this dangerous dog was on the other side, and it would freak you out. But when we first started hanging out with those neighbors, or I did, I finally met the dog, and he was just this cute little sweet pit bull. It was just a young puppy, but muscular and, built, fairly powerful. So anyway, I ended up confiscating that dog, and that was my dog for a bit. His name was Baxter. Loved him, but people in my family very freaked out about pit bulls, and I couldn't convince them for anything. They would just seize up. But I finally couldn't hold on to the dog anymore and turned it back over to the family of the guy who I had thrown out. So that's the time that I spent with a pit bull. But in this case, being run out into the middle of the street in front of traffic, well, there wasn't that much traffic. It was probably almost 12 in the morning when this happened. But I called the cops. They went over to investigate. Nobody answered the door, and the pit bull did not come running out at them. So it must have been locked up soon afterwards. In any case, in a lot of these neighborhoods around here, there's a lot of people who have dogs like this, that it's not just a matter of that they have these kinds of dogs. It's also that they put on a presentation in their home. You can see it just going up and down the streets, that they're kind of fortified, or that they're fearing the neighborhood in a way and need to intimidate or somehow secure their little fortress, make it look like a fortress. And of course, naturally, in order to make sure that presentation says that to everyone, they get like one of these bully dogs. There are also plenty of places around here that have actual aggressive dogs. You can't pass by a place without them trying to get at you and biting each other, trying to, crowd up against the fence. It's all their fault. It's all the owner's fault. So there's that. And that's the reason why aggressive animal services exists. And that's what I'm taking advantage of. There have been other times in the past, even little tiny dogs nearby. Twice, in fact, I would go by a place and this little dog would ran out from underneath the fence, and all of a sudden I feel it bite my ankle. I'm like, God damn. And now whenever a dog will come running at you, you never know what they're going to do. how's one supposed to guess that when it happens? And I can't very well be walking around fearing that I'm going to get attacked by something, looking over my shoulder all the time. That's no way to live. Anyway, and then another time, not here, but somewhere in another part of the city. Well, actually, I'll tell you 2 other times. A car dealership nearby has their dogs out in the open there behind their fence. And at one point, I'm crossing the street in front of their business. And right in the middle of the street where there's traffic, these 3 dogs come running at me. Actually come outside of the fence, the open fence area where vehicles drive through, and chase me out into the street. So I had to get into the median of the island in order to keep from getting hit. That's why I'm getting used to this stuff now. And then at another point, the same thing happened with another kind of aggressive dog, and this was no doubt was gonna get me. It even came out into the middle of the street to come at me, not unlike these other 2. And there was traffic coming, there were cars coming, in this case, in the one I just mentioned with the dealership, and it took those cars coming up to block they stopped for me. They saw some shit was going down. So from situations like that, I know to run into the middle of the street. Of course, I could also get hit. And there have been times, not related to those, when I've almost been hit by a car making a left turn into a street that I'm crossing, a neighborhood street that I'm crossing, and not seeing me cross. And certainly in situations like that, I have to look everywhere for cars coming from behind me, making a left turn, to make sure that doesn't happen. And there's been a few close calls that they could have just hit me because they didn't see me. So there's a certain level of aggression on my part, as well as either neglect or from those people, and aggression from them as well. So even though I'm not watching my back all of the time, I do have aggression when I leave the front door, ready to take on the world. So that I want to establish. In any case, to continue the story about this aggressive dog, I am currently in talks with Aggressive Animal Services in the city, and to make sure, because I didn't follow up on all these other ones, but I'm going to start doing that from here on out. All these people need to be called out on this, and this behavior, this pattern of behavior from people like this needs to change. So that's what I'm working on with that. Also, on a more positive note, this particular vlog is the beginning of a new thing I'm going to be doing. I have another channel which is called Incendiary American. For this channel here, I'll be focused on doing vlogs, doing some podcast episodes. If you haven't seen, we have videos on this channel that are previews or at least intros of some of the some of the podcast episodes that I've been doing with a couple of guys, where we do movies every week. So we'll be doing some of that here, as well as some of the vlogs, and who knows what else. But I can say for sure, at the other channel I have, Incendiary American, which I'll put the link below in the description, that channel is about independent music. And in fact, we'll be doing some reaction videos, Well, not so much reaction videos, because how are you going to react? How is this going to react? It just doesn't work. More like commentary and more of a promotional element of this entire project. Because independent artists need to be supported. What are we doing? Raking money or shoveling money over to these big time artists who are already killing it. What do we do about these other independent artists? So I'll be ranting a lot about that on that channel, not so much here. But in any case, we'll go ahead and leave it at that as far as this vlog is concerned. But let me ask that you, of course, as all YouTubers do on these things, hit subscribe and the notification bell for more videos to come. I'll try to post every 3 days. And as far as the vlog is concerned, and for all the other stuff that we have going on. Do the same for Incendiary American if you want to see more about independent music or learn more about the independent artists that are going on, that are happening out there. I've got a lot of different platforms going. I'm never going to use Patreon. Instead, if you want to support this channel or any of these two channels that I'm talking about, there will be a PayPal link in the description for you to donate what you want. Otherwise, you can also use the Amazon links in the description. And as an Amazon associate, I earn from qualified purchases. Or you can also get a subscription, and this is the Patreon equivalent, on my site, zoedune.com. On there we have articles, videos. It's kind of like its own social network and its own media organization, which we're building on right now. Also, to add as far as what else it has on there is there's also a internal radio station for you to check out, where I curate the independent artist music that I'll be talking about. In any case, we'll leave it at that. This is Zoe Dune. Until later.